Good morning, my name is Mark Brunton. I'm the Operations Section Chief for Cal Fire Incident Management Team 3, and I'll be doing the operational briefing for the Dixie Fire for August 23rd. Starting off in our Westwood sector, running through the middle of the fire, west of the fire is still looking very good. Continued mop up phase. The West Shore, it's in the process and still being repopulated. We have been getting some calls for service for basically what we call nuisance smokes, smokes that are well interior, non-threatening to the line. And so we've been taking care of those issues. The peninsula on the east side and Westwood was repopulated yesterday, and so we have more people in those areas. No factor within there. Really didn't have any fire incursion within. We have fire line still holding on Highway 36 that's continuing to be mopped up. Well interior, there are reports from 36 of the smoking stump poles and so forth, well interior, but they are not a factor for any fire spread. And we have crews in there continually mopping up for the time being and probably for quite a while in the future. Down on Dyer Mountain, we're continuing to mop up that area and to get that fully rendered safe and black line on the map. But we will not put any black line in the map throughout the map until we have full control, full containment, where it's fully mopped up and will be no threat whatsoever of any hot spots. So that's why you still see red in various parts of the map. Moving here into the Clear branch, again, our mop up along Highway 36 from our firing operation a number of days ago is ongoing, and that's getting cleaned up very well. We went direct within the Duffy group, cutting this direct and putting line in and some secondary line. There are some hot spots within there because, again, of the heavy fuels and timber, and so it's a constant and continuous mop-up effort within that. But we have no significant active flame going on in there, flaming front or active fire other than just the hot spots. This one tip you see over in here is, again, the same situation. It's just in a mop-up phase. We will not be turning this black until we have fully mopped up, no hot spots, and we're getting very, very close to having that done. And so there should be no whatsoever threat to Susanville regarding the fire. It's just we're just in a heavy mop-up phase at this point. Moving over to Janesville, in the past number of days, we've been working with our partners in the East Zone regarding not only Janesville proper, but moving down the 395 corridor towards the community of Milford. With a lot of other challenges that they're facing within the East Zone, we've been assisting them with some additional resources and overhead. And as of last evening, we've decided, working with them, that we would end up taking over the entire area over here. This would start as a spot fire, so that they could surge their resources to some of the more troubled areas. And so we're going to help them out by taking both sides of this fire, which they've been working diligently on the south end, putting line in and doing extinguishment and mop up, as we've been doing on the top side, running from the escarpment down to 395, and then down the other side towards Antelope Lake. And so we will continue those efforts in taking that on, and with our resources that we'll be able to handle this issue as they move and surge their resources to their greater need. So we're in a process here where this is getting into a really good phase of mop up in the north end, also quite a bit down towards Milford and around Milford itself, and then a lot of structures along the 395 corridor. We're just continuously doing tactical patrol and mop up around those structures as some of the fire still is advancing along the escarpment. But we are having taking a lot of opportunities to pick that up, and also utilizing aircraft to assist us with that effort. Moving north of 36 into our Lassen sector. So in the area of Mill Creek, the Mill Creek Plateau, Mineral, the Highway 89 corridor, there's been lots of questions regarding that and the status. That's looking very good. The Highway 89 corridor, you see more black here. We did firing operation a number of days ago. That's been pulled in, it's given us a nice buffer. It's in a mop-up phase. We've been direct on this piece of line along the plateau, and in Childs Meadow, it's looking very good. There is some visible smoke. from that area because, again, heavy fuels in there. We're in a mop-up. We have not only the direct line, we have secondary line, and we have a tertiary emergency line along that cuts off any potential for it to move westward. So we continue to get a lot of questions there, and I just want to assure everybody that it's looking very, very good. We're heavily mopping up in that area, and we don't expect any sort of push of any fire or any incursion of fire from that. Our weather conditions are such that it's not going to put any sort of push from a north aspect onto that area, so that's looking very good for us. The one area we're working diligently now is this pocket that goes across Highway 36 and through the drop point 15 and all the way down. And we've gotten a direct line, dozer line around it. It's very rugged terrain and heavy fuels, so some of the areas we're going to go through and then follow up with improvement with hand line and future doze line, and then what we call plummet, put hose line in, so we can start doing heavy mop-up within that pocket. So that's going to be ongoing work for a number of days. It may be from some areas that are repopulated, some visible smoke as some of the interior stuff burns out, which we're expecting and is just part of dealing with an area that is got heavy fuels with this timber fuel model. And it's just something that's going to be visible as we see more people with eyes on it as they move back into the area. So moving into branch 13 in the park, along the Park Highway, there's a spot yesterday. They were able to pick that up. They've been able to make a lot of good progress, direct line throughout this part of the park. And then in Division Papa, most likely later today, this evening, they're going to conduct a firing operation to tie in some of the line in Division Papa. Moving to the park boundary, we started a firing operation a couple days ago from the dry lake bed up to the branch break. And then this is going to be a multi-day operation as far as this burn. And so they conducted more burning last night, and it had very good results. They had been able to hold the fire within the containment lines as expected. Fire and the burn operation went very well, started to get good depth on it. And we brought it down to a point where we checked it up. And like I said, it's a multi-day operation. So every day that we decide to do the burn, we conduct what we call a go, no-go checklist that brings into account weather conditions, fuels conditions. Do we have the appropriate resources to pull it off, and a very long list of things before we actually go out and do the burn. And so we will be conducting that and find a time that it best suited to start that operation today. It might be later this afternoon, but certainly within the evenings have been our best opportunities to meet all the prescription for the burn, and we'll continue that. And again, this is a multi-day project. It's a large area, heavy fuels and that sort of thing. We just want to be sure that we're methodical about it and that we don't create a situation where it becomes, where we put spots out into the green and that sort of thing. We have backup line outside of that so that if we do happen to have any spots that go across, we have an area, a way to back up and pick those up. So that's looking really good, and it's continuing. Division Romeo, again, heavy mop up in there. That's been a lot of work, and we've got more work to do, but it's looking very good. Down into Tango, again, mop up's going very well, and then interior within uniform. Those people that have been repopulated in those areas, Westwood and the Peninsula, they may look up and see some smokes in there, but they are well interior. We also are putting we're going to be putting contingency lines just outside the park to the north between the park and Old Station. We're opening up a lot of the control lines from the Reading fire that took place a number of years ago, and we'll be utilizing those so that if the fire were to get out of the park in some form or fashion, we have a way to go and stop and catch that fire outside the park as a backup, if you will. Overall, we're having a lot of success with this. It's a huge fire. We have finite amount of resources. It's limited. A lot of people are, now they're repopulating, seeing a lot of smokes out there. Very concerned that we understand that. However, we are doing everything we can to mop those up. It is going to take a while in these heavy fuels. And so if you do feel that there is something that may be threatening near a structure or have concern about a particular smoke, call that in, and we will get our resources to take care of that. However, just be prepared that this will be something that will take quite a while. These are going to be here for weeks to come because, again, the heavy fuel types that we're dealing with. And you will see some of these deep well interior to the burn, and those have really no factor of being able to get out and cause sparks that will cause additional fire. We start from the actual fire line and work our way in with our mop-up. So you will see things very deep interior, but that's intended as we work our way in there. And that's just going to take a lot of time to be able to pick up to take care of the final outcome of the incident. Thank you.